Golf fans have seen plenty of dramatic moments over the last few years, but few stories have generated as much curiosity as the latest rumors surrounding Bryson DeChambeau and PGA Tour Chief Executive Brian Rolapp. While no official confirmation has been provided about what may have taken place behind closed doors, reports and speculation across the golf world have sparked conversations about whether some of the biggest names in professional golf are becoming increasingly vocal about the future of the sport. If such a meeting happened, it would represent another important chapter in the ongoing effort to reshape professional golf after years of division, uncertainty, and intense competition between rival organizations. Bryson DeChambeau has never been afraid to express his opinions. Throughout his career, he has challenged traditional ideas, embraced innovation, and often welcomed controversy if it meant pushing the game forward. From his scientific approach to golf to his powerful style of play, he has consistently positioned himself as someone willing to question the status quo. Because of that reputation, many fans believe he would have no hesitation speaking directly with top executives if he felt important issues needed to be addressed. On the other side of the conversation is Brian Rolapp, who stepped into one of the most challenging leadership positions in professional sports. Taking over at a time when golf continues to face pressure from changing fan expectations, growing international competition, and ongoing discussions about unification, Rolapp has inherited a situation that requires balancing the interests of players, sponsors, television partners, and tournament organizers. Every major decision carries enormous consequences, making communication with players more important than ever. According to the rumors circulating among golf followers, the conversation between DeChambeau and Rolapp may have focused on several key topics that continue to dominate headlines. One possible subject involves the future relationship between the PGA Tour and LIV Golf. While many fans hope the two sides can eventually find common ground, progress has appeared slower than expected. Uncertainty has left players wondering how future events will look, how qualification systems may change, and whether today's divided landscape can eventually become unified again. Another possible issue could involve player scheduling and opportunities. Modern professional golfers face increasingly demanding calendars with major championships, signature events, international tournaments, and personal commitments all competing for limited time. Finding a schedule that satisfies both players and organizers has become increasingly difficult, especially as the financial stakes continue to rise. If DeChambeau were raising concerns, this topic would likely be among the first discussed. There's also the question of how professional golf connects with younger audiences. Today's sports fans consume content differently than previous generations, following athletes through social media, streaming platforms, podcasts, and behind-the-scenes videos. Many believe golf must continue evolving if it hopes to remain competitive with other major sports. DeChambeau himself has built a massive online audience by giving fans access to practice sessions, equipment testing, and personal challenges, demonstrating that players can grow the game far beyond tournament broadcasts alone. Whether or not every detail of these reports proves accurate, the discussion itself highlights something much bigger than one rumored conversation. Professional golf stands at an important crossroads. Players, executives, sponsors, broadcasters, and millions of fans all recognize that the next few years could define the future of the sport for an entire generation. If influential figures are indeed having honest conversations behind closed doors, many supporters would likely view that as a positive sign rather than a negative one. Open communication has often been the first step toward meaningful change, and the golf world continues to wait for answers that could shape what comes next. However, even if a private discussion did take place, it is important to separate confirmed facts from speculation. Private meetings between executives and players happen regularly across professional sports, and very little information usually becomes public unless both sides choose to comment. Because of that, many of the claims circulating online should be viewed carefully until supported by official statements. What remains undeniable is that professional golf continues to experience one of the most significant periods of transformation in its history, and every rumor naturally attracts enormous attention from fans eager to understand where the sport is heading. From Bryson DeChambeau's perspective, there are several issues that could reasonably deserve attention. Players have repeatedly discussed the importance of having a clear, long-term vision. Uncertainty surrounding eligibility rules, world ranking points, future partnerships, and tournament structures affects not only current professionals, but also young golfers deciding where they want to build their careers. Clarity gives athletes confidence, while uncertainty often creates frustration. Regardless of which tour a player currently represents, most competitors simply want consistent rules in a stable environment where performance determines success. For Brian Rolapp, the challenge extends far beyond satisfying individual players. Leading one of the world's largest professional sports organizations requires balancing competing interests that rarely align perfectly. Sponsors expect maximum exposure, broadcasters want compelling storylines, Tournament organizers seek stronger fields, and fans hope to see the biggest stars competing against each other more often. At the same time, players understandably want schedules that protect their health, provide flexibility, and reward their performances fairly. Finding solutions that satisfy every group is incredibly difficult, which explains why leadership decisions often receive both praise and criticism. One topic that many observers continue to debate is whether golf's future depends on greater cooperation between competing organizations. Fans have consistently expressed a desire to watch the strongest players compete together in more events throughout the season instead of only meeting during the major championships. While business realities make negotiations complex, the popularity of those majors demonstrates exactly what audiences enjoy most. Whenever the best golfers share the same leaderboard, television ratings increase, social media engagement grows, and excitement spreads throughout the golf community. That shared interest may eventually encourage greater collaboration, even if the path remains challenging. Another area receiving increased attention involves innovation. Golf has traditionally respected its history, but modern audiences often expect faster storytelling, better technology, and more engaging broadcasts. Players like DeChambeau have shown that fans appreciate access beyond tournament coverage. Equipment discussions, practice routines, fitness preparation, and personal insights all create stronger connections between athletes and viewers. If the sport hopes to attract younger generations while keeping longtime supporters engaged, embracing these opportunities could become increasingly valuable. Financial sustainability also remains an unavoidable part of the conversation. Recent years have dramatically increased prize money, bonus programs, and investment across professional golf. While these developments have benefited many players, they have also raised questions about how organizations can maintain long-term stability without sacrificing competitive integrity. Executives must think beyond the next tournament and consider how today's decisions will affect the sport 5 or 10 years from now. That requires careful planning, difficult negotiations, and patience from everyone involved. Regardless of whether the rumored meeting unfolded exactly as described online, the broader conversation reflects genuine questions facing professional golf today. Fans want transparency, players want certainty, and leaders want sustainable growth. Those goals are not necessarily in conflict, but achieving all three requires trust and ongoing communication. Every meaningful change in sports history has begun with conversations that were often uncomfortable but ultimately necessary. For now, supporters will continue watching closely for official announcements rather than relying solely on speculation. Until verified information becomes available, any claims about private discussions should be treated as unconfirmed. What is certain is that Bryson DeChambeau remains one of golf's most influential voices. Brian Rolapp occupies one of the sport's most demanding leadership roles. And the future of professional golf will depend on thoughtful decisions made by players and executives alike. Whatever happens next, millions of fans around the world will be paying close attention, hoping the game emerges stronger, more united, and better prepared for the next generation.